Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is your news report and second stimulus check update. Happy New Year's everybody, and I hope you're having a great day so far. According to Fox News, the GOP-led Senate again blocks a 2000 stimulus check vote. McConnell said it's a huge chunk that would essentially be socialism for rich people. McConnell dismissed the $2,000 checks as a universal cash giveaway and not the right approach to provide targeted relief to those who need it the most. But Bernie Sanders balked at the notion that Republicans are now concerned about socialism for rich people when he said they were okay passing huge tax breaks for corporations. Sanders said, "This is what socialism for the rich is about. Socialism for the rich is not, in the midst of this terrible pandemic, putting a $2,000 check into the hands of working families." Everybody tell me in the comments down below. Do you think that Mitch McConnell should go ahead and pass the $2,000 stimulus checks? Did he stop playing the political games and help the American people? Leave a comment down below, everybody. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. Let's get this video to 5,000 likes if you think that Mitch McConnell should pass the $2,000 stimulus checks.
The United States Senate, which often, in the midst of all of the campaign contributions coming in here from the rich, does not know what's going on in the real world. Here's the real world. Gentleman in Texas wrote, $2,000 is the difference between keeping our apartment and being evicted. Mother in Virginia wrote, $2,000 means I can afford to feed my 3 kids. Now maybe we should give her a long lecture on macroeconomics and how well the stock market is doing. All she's worried about is feeding her 3 children. Woman in Wisconsin wrote, $2,000 would mean not having to choose between rent and groceries and not having to ration my partner's meds. Woman in Nevada wrote, it means paying my rent and getting life-saving treatment because I can't afford the $50 copay through my work insurance just to see my neurologist right now. Father in Florida wrote, quote, it would mean I could pay my bills, my electricity and phone are about to get shut off. I didn't have money for my son on Christmas, and I won't have money for his birthday on January 2nd. Father in New Jersey wrote, it would mean I could pay off credit card debt accumulated during this pandemic, feed my children, and pay my bills. Parent in Massachusetts wrote, it would mean that I could pay my rent and electricity and put food.
This reference, when, by my count, the President of the United States, the Speaker of the House, a large majority of the House of Representatives, and I think a supermajority of this body are all in favor of $2,000 COVID relief payments to working.
Fox News goes on to say that Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer spoke about the urgency of the matter in a floor speech Friday, before Republicans rejected his separate request for a vote. Schumer said, if the Senate does not take action today, $2,000 checks will not become law before the end of Congress, and they will know that Leader McConnell and the Republican majority have prevented them from getting the checks. Plain and simple, this is the last chance. And Senator John Thune objected to Schumer's request for a vote on the $2,000 checks, arguing that sending checks to families making 6 figures and unaffected by the pandemic is not fiscally responsible. Thune said it is not targeted to help those who are most in need. Now, Congress has already passed $600 checks as part of a broader $900 billion aid package. Those checks are currently being distributed. While Trump signed the bipartisan legislation, he also demanded bigger checks of $2,000. Now, according to CBS News, here's when the $300 per week unemployment benefit will begin. Unemployment aid will continue to provide a lifeline for millions of workers who continue to struggle to find a job amid the pandemic. And thanks to Trump's signature on the $900 billion stimulus bill that extends 3 major jobless programs: the Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Program, PUA, which covers gig workers and self-employed workers, and the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, which provides additional weeks of jobless aid to those who have run out of their regular state unemployment benefits. Both expired December 26th. And because the bill was signed a day after those 2 unemployment programs ended, concerns have been raised that jobless workers may suffer from a gap in aid payments. But experts say it's unlikely that benefits will last because of that.
We'll go without food, shelter, and medicine. It would mean my family stays warm another couple of months and my dad gets proper treatment.
Senator, yield for a question.
I would.
I'd like to ask a question of the senator from Vermont through the chair. I have listened to the Republican analysis of the bill which you and Senator Schumer and I are asking for a vote on. A bill which passed the House and would give $2,000 basically in allotments or payments to families across America with certain income restrictions. And I've heard from the other side of the aisle repeatedly that this is socialism for the rich, that this is fundamentally unfair, and that we should do things in a targeted way. That's the argument that's made over and over again. And reference has been made repeatedly to the COVID-19 bill that passed last week with 92 votes, including many of the Republicans, virtually all of them, not all of them, but virtually all of them. And so that bill, if I remember correctly, had a $600 payment included in the bill. And I asked my staff, would you please analyze the formula for distributing the $600 and compare it to the formula for the $2,000, which is part of our bill. And lo and behold, they discovered it's the same formula. So if there is some fundamental moral injustice in the distribution of these funds, then I'm afraid all but 6 of the Republicans are guilty of the same immorality because they all voted for that formula last week when it was $600 and now are scandalized by the notion that the same formula they voted for would be used for a $2,000 payment. I'm sure I've missed something in the translation here. I'd like to ask the senator from Vermont to explain this faux outrage from the Republican side of the aisle.
I think my friend from Illinois missed nothing in the translation. He's exactly right. But I also...
From Illinois makes a good point. Senator, yield for a question.
Yeah.
So if the same formula is used and you're increasing the amount by $1,400 per person, so you're going from basically for a family of 4, what would be $2,400 payment to $8,000 payment, and you phase that down using the same formula, does the senator from Illinois understand the math and why that skews toward people who make a lot more money than they would under the other formula?
If the question's directed toward me, I'll answer it.
Well, I just think that you're making a point and a statement which is not accurate, because you're saying the formula is the same. The formula is the same, but the inputs change. And so the way it ramps down means that somebody who makes $350,000.
The House agreed by passing standalone legislation and sending it to the Senate, where it was blocked. With that being said, everybody, that is all the news in today's video. If you found this video useful, be sure to subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell.